Hi, this will be using curves with procedural nodes. We'll be using the plugin Jeremy Bearimy, which is just an easy based curve editor. So if I have like a thing around here, it just generates like a line across that curving into it. It has like Bezier curves, NURB, so it goes in between the parts, polys, so it's just straight ahead, cyclic on and off, and you can change the resolution. So like if I just change this to 1, oh, misclick. Um, yeah, it essentially is a poly and then change it to 2, it becomes like an in between. And 3, yeah, you get the deal. So to use this with, I better change that back up to 12. With procedural nodes, we're going to need to be able to reference it. So that's where curve path comes in. So from here, since I have a selector, I can just click here, curve. Now that's reference. So now when I just do curve to geometry or something like that, curve to mesh, drag and drop, and then realize it. Boop, boop, save. There you go. You got yourself a nice tube little thing. Um, and this controls the profile if you're using this for other stuff. So let's just say line, plug it in since this just goes downwards to upwards. This doesn't have like a radius or anything of it, so you could have it like massive and it still only does like 1. So if I change it to like 5 or something like that, it expands. So if I was making some sort of like path or something like that, this is what I would use. So we'll just get rid of this for now, since that's not what we're going over. Okay, so if we want to spawn points on there, it will be curve array. Array to curve or curve on array? Array on curve. Plug that in. Change like whatever I'm spawning with a length of 1 with a spacing of 0. I really should change those numbers because default is bad. So we'll just change it to 1. And then again, map array. Drag and drop, drag and drop. And we'll spawn a part for each one. To save. Oh, forgot to give it its position. Element, since this is a C-frame, we can plug element into. And there you go. Spawns a cube every stud for each part. I might change cyclic off and save. So if I want to like have some sort of live update, Curve will update each change and then each constantly. So if I have a number, whoop, hit slash, a number in there, and then mark as attribute and change to version, right, and then save it. So, oh, so disconnected that. Yeah, save it. And so now when I drag it, it won't change until update. But if I want to have it like constantly streaming, which is rather intensive, I can click live, change it to update, click save, and so now when I change the curve, it does it live, but it's very intensive. But you do get live editing. So from this, we'll just change it back to version. Save, change that off live. So it'll change when I change that. What we want is just change the size to 2, have like a better spacing. So we'll do 3 spacing, so it'll be every 1 to 3. Number, change it to 3. Mark as attribute. Height, vector 3. Put that in there. Size 1, 1. And then we'll add. Since we don't want to add, offsets anywhere, we'll just plug that in there. Plug element. Can't remember if this is side dependent. Yeah. Divide. to. Normally used to multiply. There we go. Now it's there. Change that to a brown. And you got starting to get yourself a fence. And so what we can do also is copy this completely. Control C, Control V. And since we are getting one already, we can grab the other one. So we can grab the curve, array on curve. So it's sampling the same curve. Plug this in. But this time, we'll set an offset. What? What's happening? Ah, save. Anyways, we'll set the offset of 1, the length of 3, with a spacing of 1. And instead of height, yeah, we'll just do height, half of height. But what we'll do is change the size from that. Instead of being height, it'll be 1 set high, 3 on the Z, I mean, and 1 on the X. And there you go, you got yourself a fence. 0.5, so make it more fence-like. And so now when you move around, or have some sort of like fencing around, whoops, fencing around the place, you can easily set it up now that if you just use the curve editor, even without procedural nodes, you got yourself a full fence system. And that would be it. Yeah, we'll call it quits there.